mental illness increases, you see, whenever people eat a more processed diet. And a lot of it may be related to the hyperinsulinemia. And what he's saying is that it may be related to the mitochondrial health. So the mitochondria is the little sort of power plants of the cell. And what you want is to have a good metabolic flexibility, that is, be able to burn both glucose and fat. So if you never burn fat as a source of energy, you're just taking refined carbohydrates all day long, then it never burns fat. So you don't have that flexibility. And then the mitochondrial, their health goes down. So during fasting, it also helps with autophagy. There's a process called mitophagy, which is sort of autophagy of the mitochondria, where you sort of also improve their health and increase this flexibility by forcing them to burn fat, right? So if you keep fasting for longer, you don't have any glucose, so then you're forced to burn fat. And that increased flexibility helps the mitochondria. What he's saying is that the brain, all these mental illnesses, including schizophrenia and others, they're all linked to this poor mitochondrial health. So the brain is not getting enough energy, and that's why you're seeing all the symptoms. And when they switched over to a sort of ketogenic diet, by forcing them, not forcing, but by providing them with a lot of ketones and stuff, you're making them burn ketones, or you're giving them ketones to burn, which becomes more efficient. And then the mitochondria, the brain, provide more energy. So your brain gets more energy, and then you don't get these symptoms. So depression, schizophrenia, a lot of these things, of course, because you see that over the last 50 years, they've actually increased significantly in our society. And we try and treat it with antidepressants and antipsychotics and all this sort of thing. And he's saying that, well, that's not really the underlying reason for that. While they may help, they're not getting to the underlying reason. And if you just change the diet, you can actually improve metabolic flexibility. And it's a metabolic disease, just like diabetes is what he's saying. And he's actually had a lot of success with it. And that's where it's super interesting, because it sort of changes the way you look at these diseases, because rather than saying sort of schizophrenia or depression, oh, well, that's just the way it is, and I just need to take my pills, then it gives you another option to change your diet, try and improve that metabolic flexibility, improve the mitochondrial health, and therefore improve the symptoms of this. So it can actually apply to a lot of different things. And of course, opens up all kinds of intriguing possibilities for somebody to sort of take control of their own health in terms of their mental illnesses and stuff. Applies also to Alzheimer's disease, which has been increasing. Is there a possibility that changing the diet could impact that? That's certainly a strong possibility.